This is Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. Please like, subscribe, and share.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. What's going on, Bridge? How you feeling?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So I'm trying to get rid of the nicotine in my life. So for the last 72 hours, I've still been vaping, but it has no nicotine. And I'll tell you, that is the hardest damn thing on the planet. Because I just want to slap the shit out of somebody for no good reason. Like I'm just angry for no reason. But
You're going to have to detox, do fresh pressed juices, go sit in the sauna, sweat it out.
fresh pressed juice.
Yeah, like fresh pressed
Okay.
juice. Detox your body.
Yeah, I do need to do that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Chew,
See?
chew,
I
um, chew,
do.
chew gum. Chew gum. Always keep like gum and mints and stuff in your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's I'm gonna I might upset some people tonight, but that's okay. Some people need to be upset in order to get right. Um so what we're gonna talk about first is signs that your partner is extremely toxic and you should leave the relationship not only for your sake but also for your children's sake. Let's talk about this because I know a lot of people who are in toxic relationship. I know some people who were previously in some toxic relationships, and we always think about how it's not beneficial to us, like how it's bothering us. But a lot of times we don't think about how it's affecting our children. So yeah, let's chop this up.
Yeah.
And I know we all have had that girlfriend or that homeboy who was in a toxic relationship. Try to intervene at all, or do you feel like if I don't mind my business, I might mess up my friendship?
Um. So if someone comes to me, I might,
Mm,
give them a little taste of my advice. But I'm never going to tell no one what to do. I'm never going to judge no one for continuing, even if I don't agree, because
mm-hmm,
ultimately, I'm not there 24 hours to see every single thing that goes on. I'm hearing one side of the story, but either way, I it's almost like sometimes you gotta let people make their own choices, and it's not to say that it's always right, but I don't know. I think for the most part, it's like I try to listen because you also don't want to like be so judgmental that when this person is like going through something serious, they don't feel comfortable coming to you.
mm-hmm.
So I kind of try to stay neutral, but of course, I'm gonna want the best for the person that's around me. What
Yeah.
about you?
I'm kind of along the same lines. It's hard because you want to say something because you care about this person. Like this is my friend. This is somebody who I want to see the best for. But then at the same time, you don't want to isolate them even further because then they don't have any support that they need, and you might be their only support.
Right.
So it's hard, but you always want to protect your friends. Like
Yeah.
you always
I,
want to be there to make sure that they're okay.
yeah. I feel like when children are involved though, I think that's something hard because
Mm-hmm.
you know like if it wasn't kids involved and someone, this was just like your choice, like, but I think sometimes when people decide to keep tolerating things, like you said, like people don't really think about the children don't have a choice,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like no relationship is perfect, but I feel like if it's really toxic, to the point where it's like they shouldn't be around your child or something like that, then I feel like
Mm-hmm.
at that point you have to put how you feel to the side and protect your children, you know. Um, but I don't. What was the topic again? My bad. I'm sorry.
So if it's so toxic that you need to walk away from the relationship for your sake as well as your children's sake.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like, hmm. I would say, like, so what would you say, Don, are some things that would be extremely toxic that people should not just
Um,
for themselves, but for the sake of their children?
Someone who's abusive, definitely. That's
Is it the
definitely a
physical?
situation,
Is it just physical
physically
abuse, verbal?
or mental,
Yeah.
verbal, mental, um, because when if they're abusing their significant other or their girlfriend or whatever badly, eventually they're going to abuse the children. They're not going to isolate their abuse to just one person in the house. So if you don't get the kids out of there, and for me, like a kids is a hard stop for me. Like I don't care how you feel or how bad our friendship might be. If you can't make the decision to walk away with the kids, like I'm telling you, yo, this is bad for you, bad for your kids, and you want to stay in it, that's fine. But I might have to get the authorities involved and say, yo, this is not a good situation for the kids to be in.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's the hardest part is
Hmm.
because you might lose a friend forever at that
Yeah.
point. But I'd rather lose a friend forever than watch kids be abused.
Right. Yeah. Um, and I think with that too, I think some people don't even think of the fact that what your children see is usually what they repeat, you know. So if you
Mm-hmm.
normalize like abuse, you know, and continuously having abusive partners, um, your son might think it's okay to, you know, and whoever it is, like to abuse women or him allow women to abuse him, like verbally, physically, whatever. And vice versa. Women, you know, if you have a daughter, your daughter might think like that's what love looks like, you know. And I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people, you know, because they're like, you're so caught up in like you're invested into this person and you like, I've been dealing with this person for this many years and oh, I love this person, but you don't realize you're showing your kids what love is to them. You know, that's what it
Right.
looks like to them, you know. And I think when children are involved, I feel like people need to put their feelings about their partner to the side, whether it's even if it's their the children's father, to be honest, you know.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I be hearing people talk about all the time that like, oh, they want to stay together for their family and stuff like that, and it's fine, that's fine, but if it's abusive, if it's physically or verbally abusive, I don't think you should show your kids to tolerate. I don't think you should show your children that it's okay to tolerate physical or verbal abuse, even if it is their mother or their father, you know. I think you should at every point as a parent show your children that regardless if we were together or not, you walk away from someone the moment that they disrespect you, they put their hands on you, or you know, verbally or just beating you up, you know, talking down to you and stuff. Um, but yeah, I don't think people think that deep, you know, and even like the physical, like you said with the physical, like it's only a matter of time till they physically, you know, abuse a child too.
Mm-hmm. And 143 Trip said, and this is something I never thought about, financial abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's different. Like I've never even thought about that. But when you give anybody X amount of control over anything, your mental health, your physical well being, or your finances,
Right.
anything can be abused.
Yeah.
Um, but how long do you wait before you intervene? I guess is probably the best question. Like, I don't even know how long I would allow something to go on before I stepped in and it's like, hey, this has to stop. Unless a female friend of mine and their male mate is abusive, because I mean, I know women can take care of themselves, but I mean, men sometimes are stronger than a woman and can be more abusive, and I would hate to watch a situation like that and it gets to the point where something happens badly.
Yeah.
Um and I don't think we I don't think we look at it like worst case scenario. I think most of the time we hope for the best
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, ah, they'll walk away before it gets too bad, but not all the time, do they?
Yeah, and I think like even how you saying like how when do you intervene? But I feel like we probably should be talking to the people that are in these abusive relationships. I feel like
Yeah.
it's only so much as a friend, a family member can do because at the end of the day they're an adult. Now if the partner is like physically putting their hands on the children, then yeah, I would say go to the authorities, because if their parent is choosing to stay in this abusive relationship to the point where that person is now physically abusing your children and you still not doing what you need to do as a parent, then at that point it's fair game, because you're not protecting your own kids. Somebody else gonna have to step in and make sure those kids is protected. But outside of that, I feel like, they're a grown adult. It's like, what can you really do? So I feel like I don't know, I feel like maybe we should be talking to the people who are in these relationships, because I think like, yeah, sometimes people know, but I think in abusive relationships people get manipulated so much that they're no longer even thinking, logically. um so I think even though some people are in abusive relationships, they don't even realize that they're in abusive relationships. They're definitely not going to realize that they're putting their children through abusive relationships, and that you're showing your kids, oh, it's okay to stay with abuse.
Hmm.
Um,
And I
but
think
yeah,
that
go ahead.
because, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No,
sis.
you fine.
But so yes, I would love to really speak with someone who was in a abusive relationship or felt like they might be in an abusive relationship, because there's probably a lot of information that can be provided to them. Um, One of the biggest things that I've noticed is because it's so hard to find your person, it's so hard to find somebody who you might consider your person, that you'll ignore a lot of red flags that are there, a lot of things that's telling you this is not a safe situation.
Yeah.
And I've seen women who want to have a male figure around for their children and they will ignore a lot of red flags, because they're like, look, no saying, at least no saying he brings in a good paycheck. He doesn't beat me all the fucking time, like that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
I think I
so
think
we'll ignore
some
them.
I think some people also be thinking that they can't get better. I think,
Hmm.
and especially think about this: like, if someone is being mentally abused, physically abused, that person is manipulating them, all types of things. Gaslighting them. So it's like, what their
Hmm.
reality ain't even. They don't even think their reality is what it is. So, I don't know what I was just saying. My whole fucking mind was like,
But I saw somebody who
what you
was
just
in
look
a
what you
physical.
said.
Um,
But
hold
I
on,
don't know if
myself.
somebody's being physically abused or verbally abused. I'm trying to think what I was just saying. Damn, my whole mind just went blank. Getting old.
That's how I
um,
don't come back to you.
I'm trying
But
to think. Hold on. Let me think. Um, yeah, they're not thinking logically. This person is manipulating them.
mhm.
They think, and then when they manipulate them, they also be like, they'll say stuff like, "I'm the best you'll ever get." You know,
Mhm.
Or they'll do things to tear down your like self-esteem. Like, they'll talk about you like, like you ain't shit, you less than what you are. And then like over time you start to believe that. Like, like abusers know how to manipulate, so
Hell
they'll
yeah.
they'll have it in a way that it's like they will break you down mentally to the point where you feel like you're nothing, you could never get better. um and you gotta think people naturally are insecure about different things within themselves, so imagine somebody like telling you repetitively, telling you this as they're abusing you, like you ain't shit, nobody else gonna want you, I'm the best you ever gonna get, like, like imagine hearing this every time you get into an argument with a partner, and you really start to believe that. So even the idea of like, I'm so sick of this, but in the back of my mind, he said I ain't gonna find better,
Yep.
and I'm the best. He the best that I'm a get, and then something else too. I noticed too, because I talk to people a lot. Sometimes people will move on to a new person, right? And a new person might can be worse, and maybe in a different way, right? Like a different way, because everybody got some shit with them, right? So, because I was talking to a client yesterday, something about this, but I'm like, just because that person, still this new person might not be your person, that don't give you a reason to go back to the last person,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because it's like if you see something toxic about the new person, you can be like, damn, that motherfucker wasn't that bad, so let me just go back to them, but that's not an excuse to go back to any type of abuse. I truly feel like whatever people desire in a partner, you can find it, but you have to make yourself available
Hmm.
to find it or allow it to come to you, um or I just feel like you're never going to get out of that relationship. But I don't know, I think with this whole topic though, I think it's so important when children are involved, to whether it's their parent or not, you know um
Yeah.
because I've heard it on both sides, men and women. Oh, I want to work it out for my family, and it's just like, why are you showing your children that you
Yeah.
you tolerate this love? Like most parents want the best for your kids, right? Don, if
Hmm. Yeah.
your child was in an abusive relationship, like you gonna be like, hey, tolerate it. No, you're not.
No, I'm gonna step right the hell in. You're right.
Yeah,
Like I've seen, I've seen where people will not just ignore the red flags. I mean, that's a given, but make excuses for the
that
person's behavior. They will make huge excuses like, "Oh my God, they're just under a lot of stress," or "Oh my God, he's just having a rough time at work." You don't understand. The whole world is against him. I gotta be in his corner. Not if he's abusing you, and especially if not if, because what your child sees you go through, and I think you said this, they will start to believe that that's what love looks like,
yeah,
especially young ladies. They will sit there and go, if he doesn't abuse me, he don't care about me.
yeah,
So, and I've watched a lot of growing up, I've watched a lot of young ladies who would either attach themselves to people who were abusive because that's what they thought love was,
hmm,
or they would push away guys who wasn't abusive because they felt like if he's not putting his hands on me, he don't love me.
hmm,
And that's
yeah,
absolutely absurd. That's crazy.
yeah. Um, I think and I think sometimes too, like you said, I feel like people make excuses. And I think those
Hmm.
are very empathetic people. That's why I feel like, I truly feel like, empaths is a narcissist, a abuser's biggest target, because they're the only ones that's gonna feel sorry for this motherfucker treating you like shit. Like, and it don't make
Yeah.
no sense. But you're like you said, they're trying to justify like, oh, he just been through a lot growing up, and I just want to show him what love is, and like, but it's like, he don't love you if he's abusing you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I don't know. I think, I don't know. I think like people also, like I said, with the whole like my like showing your child what love looks like. And a lot of the times I feel like people who are in abusive relationships, they don't even realize that they're repeating the pattern of some type of form of what they seen growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the craziest thing. And it's crazy because I feel like a lot of people can recognize when they're parents. You know, a lot of people recognize like, I don't understand why my dad tolerated this, or I don't understand why my mother tolerated this, but don't realize that they're currently doing the exact same thing. You know, and I feel like that's why it's so important to break that within your child, you know. And I feel like you do. I feel like you have some people, you got some people that, just like with any type of trauma, any type of abuse, you got some people that grew up and they seen their parents, you know, do something or act a certain type of way. And then they grow up and they're like, you know what? I will never do that to my kids. Or like, say you ain't grow up with a dad or something. You got some men or women, or I'm going to say men, you got some men that didn't grow up with a dad and they're dedicated, like, I'm never going to walk out on my child's life. I'm going to be there for
Mm-hmm.
my kids. And they dedicated to being a better father than what they had, you know? So I feel like you got some people that can recognize like, my mom or my father tolerated certain type of abuse, and I'm going to make sure that I do not show that in front of my children, you know. But um I feel like it's a lot what people don't recognize it, you know. They like I said, they'll call out their parents. And it's so crazy with that, with trauma and all that stuff too, because I feel like people will literally call out their parents for certain things and not even realize that you literally did or are doing the same exact thing that your parents did. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, that
but
part.
at what point does it stop? You know, what point does it stop? Because just like I said, like as a parent, I'm not a parent, right, Don? But as a parent, I'm pretty sure you want the absolute best for your children. You would never,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether you in a toxic relationship today or not, 15, 20 years down the line, your child is grown, you would never sit here and just be able to sleep at night knowing that your son or daughter is getting abused. It wouldn't be okay with you. So I think people need to have that mentality when you're showing your kids that it's okay to stay in abusive relationships, you know, because a lot of them will repeat that, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
and
And I
and
think
it, and it Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, no, go
No,
ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, as a parent, like, how are you going to feel 15, 20 years down the line knowing that, damn, my kid is really keep getting their ass whooped or keep dealing with this person that's treating them like shit? And like, and what do you, how do you feel as a parent? Because you got to reflect on
Mm-hmm.
life at that point and realize I'm the one that showed them this was okay.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
the crazy thing, so a lot of women think, and I've hear a lot of women who don't have children. They be like, well, or people will tell them, well, you don't know because you don't have children.
Mm-hmm.
Or they be like, saying I try to stay out of things because I don't have children. But because you don't have them things, children in your life that's distracting you. Like you don't have your own life's distraction. You have a little few less life's distractions. You do hone in on what other people are going through. You know what I'm saying? So you will see something, and whereas, like for example, the young lady who might have a relationship and have children, she may not see what her best friend's going through. But because you have just a few less distractions going on, you're like, wait, wait, wait. I see something and I need to talk to this person about it. So I've heard of women say, saying like I try to stay I keep it to myself because I don't have children. I don't know. No, no, you do know. Because you
Yeah.
know what what a bad situation looks like, whether you got kids or not. It don't
Yeah.
damn matter. No, say if you
Yeah.
know what a bad situation look like.
Yeah. I think I personally feel like Because I've been in a toxic relationship before, right? And I feel like it was the time when my mind fully developed. I feel like it was like around the age of 26 when my mind fully developed. That's what I truly believe. And I started saying, I'm like, the dude I was talking to, I'm like, this is literally, and no shade to my father, because he's a changed man now, you know. But I'm like, this is literally my father. Like, I'm literally dating the same exact person as my father. Like, literally. It was just like the biggest wake up call of my life. And I was like, hell no. You know, and I think the best thing that could have ever happened to me, right? I think that was the best. I promise you. I think the best thing that ever happened to me is that I never had kids, right, by this person. And so therefore you have no real reason to stay. You have no reason to stay. Cause it's like, all right, yeah, I stay long enough. You're gonna be dumb but so much, you know, until you start coming to your senses. Cause like this behavior, this lifestyle was normalized to me as growing up. This is what I seen. This is what men are. This is what men do. Like, you know, this is okay until your mind fully develops and then you realize like I'm repeating a pattern. And like and I ain't gonna lie, it's a little deeper to me, Dawn, because you know, me and my mom, we got the same exact birthday. So for me to just wake up or at the age of 26 and be like, this motherfucker is exactly who my father is, like to the fucking T. Like to this is exact, and I never realized it all that time. And I'm like, Bridget, do you really want to be? And it's not because my mother is a wonderful person. My mother still accomplished a lot, even though she was a single mother of four. But I'm like, do you really want to be that? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that the biggest blessing me being born on my mother's birthday was kind of getting the older example of like, this is you. And if you don't change something within this is how your life will play out. Like, you know, um, and I think I started coming to my senses like, dang, this is exactly who my father is. Like, do you want that? Like, you know, look how it ended for mom. Like, you know, it led her to just be a single mother, like, you know, 4 children. And I'm just like, no, like I don't. And then you don't have kids, so you don't have, you know, with the kids involved, oh, go to your father's house, but then it's like the baby mother and baby father still fuck around sometimes, and next thing you know, we one big happy family again, you know. So I think the biggest blessing was that I did not ever have a child with this person. I came to my senses, and then because I didn't have a child, I had no real excuse to have to be around this person, you know. And then it's like I kind of like isolated myself and tried to do the work, you know, to heal. And then it's like when you sit with yourself long enough and you like, dang, like I almost repeated a pattern, you know, like probably like a generational curse type thing. And then when you just by yourself, you all you can do is just sit around and observe, you know, and you sit around and like you said, when you don't have those kids, you don't have distractions in front of your face to sit there and like where you can't see clearly and you can, it's almost like people are in glass houses and you just looking at everybody, like, you know, and it's not from a place of judgment, but it's a just true observation, you know. And you like, dang, like, and you start to see why, you know, because I had to recognize it within myself first, you know. So that's why I would never, that's why we say when people are in these relationships, it would never come from a place of judgment. I wouldn't even judge a woman if she go back. The only time I would, or a woman or a man, because men can be in abusive relationships too. The only thing that bothers me is when children are involved, you know, and especially if it's like physical abuse. But I will never judge no one. I will never judge no one for ever going back however many times until you learn the lesson to leave. Because I know how many times it took me to leave, you know. Um, but I just observe and I be like, you recognize the patterns and the traits of why people are either accepting that, you know, and a lot of times it's like a you know, generational trauma, generational curse, toxic behavior that was normalized growing up from your parent that you are repeating, you know. And I really think people don't see that they're repeating patterns. But me personally, I wouldn't be okay with myself as a parent to show my, like, I feel like, no, I like, what you do is what a child will repeat, so I'm not, I want to,
Hmm.
not to say if I ever do have a kid, I'm not going to be perfect. That's one thing I'm not going to do. Regardless of what I say, I'm not going to be perfect. But I would try my absolute best to never show my kids something that I wouldn't want them to do. Because then you're
Hmm.
a contradiction at that point.
Right.
So
And I have like I've seen women who've raised children by themselves, and honest to God, hats off to them. First of all, doing it in a with a two-parent household is hard enough. So for those women who successfully raise children by themselves, hats off. But if you don't have to, don't. Like if you have a choice and you can see the choices in front of you, don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, you can't, even if you get into the best relationship of your life and you have children, there's no guarantee that that's the way that relationship is going to stay forever. But that's one thing. If you can avoid getting in a relationship where it splits up after you have kids, try to avoid that.
yeah,
Now, when you were saying like we kind of mimic the behaviors that we see. Um, so my mom, I love my mom to pieces. Um, but she was the type of woman who would poke and poke and poke
mm-hmm,
until she got that response that she wanted. And even if that response was a physical altercation, she has to keep poking and poking and poking. And I found, at least for the first part of my adult life, that's the kind of women I was getting involved with.
mm-hmm,
And because I never wanted to be like my dad didn't have a problem with hitting his woman, which to me is fucking absurd. Um, but because I wanted to work so hard not to be like him,
mm-hmm,
I would have to end a lot of relationships because I felt like they were going to push me to that point, and I never wanted to put my hands on a woman.
yeah,
So it was the exact opposite of what happened. Instead of me doing exactly like my dad did, I tried to overcompensate. So as soon as I had like a glimmer of this is where this might go, I'd have to end the relationship because I didn't want to be that guy.
yeah,
So I ended a lot of relationships that probably could have been successful, but the signs just didn't look good to me, and I was just like, nah, I gotta walk away.
yeah,
Um, and so we kind of will end up doing the exact opposite as well. We will see things that aren't really there because we're so scared of what could possibly happen. Like a young lady might say, oh, this guy raised his voice at me. I already know once you raise your voice, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna hit me. And he wasn't even on that level. He was just raising his voice to get his point across. But when she was growing up, she knew raise the voice, raise your hand. You know what I'm saying? So she's ending relationships that probably could have been successful because she has those fears in her.
yeah. I do think like antagonizing is a form of abuse. And it's crazy because I've heard other people tell me that their mother would do that to their father. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
heard of women antagonizing their men to the point where the men will up and leave and get a divorce, and then the woman is all hysterical, not knowing, where it come from. But I do feel like that's a form of abuse. Even with what is it, 143 trips said financial abuse. I think that's a real thing too, because if someone will sit there and either financially hold money over your head or deliberately messing up your money or stealing money or creating all this debt for you, and even if you say you have children involved from a previous relationship, um, what if they up and leave and they done messed up everything? you know, all like you have your credit score, they
Mm-hmm.
all your money out your bank account, and you have an eviction notice on your door. Where do you up and go with your children at that point? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Um, and so I think that type of abuse is important too, because you don't want to get your children in a situation where they have an unstable household, you know, and they face
Mm-hmm.
homelessness. Um, because I think that's a real thing, you know, it really
Oh,
is. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So, I don't know. I think there are so many different forms of abuse. I don't think no one should ever tolerate abuse. I know relationships ain't gonna be perfect, but I think it's a difference between having like a misunderstanding, which I would consider that maybe some ups and downs in a relationship. But if someone is verbally abusive, excuse me, physically abusive, in any way, I think you should up and leave, and especially if you have children. Now, if you want to fight it out, no children involved, be my guest. You're a grown
Handle your
adult.
business.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if children are involved, like they don't have a choice at that point, and you have to be their voice as their parent. You know, I feel like the moment that you decide to have children, it's no, I don't want to say it's no longer about you, but when it comes to safety, it's no longer about what you want. You have to protect those children because they can't up and go wherever, you know.
Right.
So I feel like as a parent, it's your duty to all by all means protect your kids. But also pave the way to show them what love looks like, you know, and show them, okay, yeah, this might be your dad, but dad or mom don't know how to treat me. So you don't tolerate this abuse from a woman or from a man, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. And I think, you know, I don't know. And I feel like it's really no excuses. I feel like they have so many outlets, even if it's like physical abuse or even just verbal. But I feel like physical abuse is definitely something that's very serious, because a lot of times when you're in physically abusive relationships, it's really only two ways out. And it's if you get to leave, or this person might try to kill you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you have to take the necessary steps to make sure that, and especially if children are involved, that you know you make it out safely. Um, and you know, I would pray that, you know, but I think the more that you tolerate it, like even the first time, that's why the first time, especially with like physical abuse, the first time somebody put their hands on you, leave, because in most of domestic violence relationships, it usually ends in death, you know. So
Yeah.
I and when kids are involved, we talked about this on here before, with the murder suicide, you know, which is a real thing. People will sit there, oh, you're leaving me, you know, they've been beating your ass for however long you allowed it. And I'm not you know, blaming no one, but they beat your ass for so long, and then the moment that you try to leave, now they not only try to kill you, but to kill your children too, you know, and your kid is
Mm-hmm.
robbed of their life because of a selfish decision, you know. um and I'm not trying to bash no one, I just want to bring awareness to it, because I feel like when it happens the first time, leave. You know, but it's like people
Yeah.
will, like you said, make excuses and, oh, they said they're gonna change. You know, no, to me that's not love. Love would not try to hurt you. Love, I should not fear something that quote unquote loves me. I shouldn't be scared
Mm-hmm.
of someone that loves me. You know, and the moment that I'm scared of you, I don't need to be around you, because that's not what love is. Um,
Yeah. She would say it never starts with a punch in the face. Um, it starts with them yelling or pushing or punching a wall right next to you.
yeah,
Intimidation.
yeah.
I agree. Go
And I
ahead.
feel even with the provoking, too, the provoking, like when someone provokes you, they are purposely trying to get under your skin and get you to do something you know, that you might regret. And that's why it is
Mm-hmm.
abuse, because, and we're gonna say women, or men can provoke you too, but I'm gonna speak for women, because I feel like women be the ones that provoke a lot. That's what I hear, the abuse that comes from women. Like, you know, and not to say, I feel like women can probably financially abuse too. Women can do that too. But I definitely and physically, women can do all of that. I don't want to sit here and try and make it seem like one is one. No. But I want to speak on like women that provoke men. It's like you're sitting there provoking him, you saying all of this stuff, and then he hits you and he go to jail, you know, and now you crying victim, and now you sitting in jail and then jeopardize all these things that you built for yourself as a man, you know, when you seen that this person was trying to provoke you from the beginning, leave. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that it could prevent you from getting in a cell for however long, or because you choked their ass out because you like, I'm sick of this bitch, you know.
Right.
I think you people have to have a level of self-awareness to know yourself and know, like, I can't be around somebody like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I like, even if it's like, I don't know, like me personally, I feel like, all right, if somebody was to physically abuse me, I would have to leave, number one, because that's not me to stay in a physically
Right.
abusive relationship. That's number one. But number two, why? Because bitch, I will kill you. You is not gonna fuck with me. I will literally kill your ass. It's gonna be me or you. I'm dead ass serious. I am not that one. I promise you. And this is no shade to the women that stay in there and tolerate it, but I know myself. I'm a
Yeah.
fighter. Like, I'm not just gonna let someone beat my ass, and I'm gonna just sit there and let them beat my ass. No, I'm not. And then I might go to jail. Who knows? You know?
Yeah. It's better to walk away when you have the opportunity before it becomes physical. Like, know the red flags. Like, I dealt with this chick one time, and she had irritated me. Not irritated, but she poked me the whole day from the time we got up all day long. And when I finally got so angry, like I was slamming like doors and stuff around the house. And like the next day, she was like, "Oh my god, like you don't understand how much that turned me on." And I was like, "Yo, you're fucking crazy. I'm out. Like
Yeah.
I'm out because there's certain things that I never want to lose. I'm a big Second Amendment right person. I know a lot of people aren't, but I am, and I
Mm-hmm.
would never want to lose my Second Amendment right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also don't want to lose my freedom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with dudes, but I don't want to spend 24 hours with y'all. I like women. So
Right.
I like to be on the street. But yeah, like I've seen so many women who get off on how they can manipulate a man's mind and doing things that they probably wouldn't do otherwise.
Yeah.
And guys, we sit there and we be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, she's just a little weird. Like that shit, she said that shit turned her on. Now fuck that. No. You get
Mm.
turned on another fucking way.
I think when it comes to love, I feel like love feels safe.
It should.
You know what I'm
It
saying? It's
should.
safe, meaning like I can be vulnerable with you. I don't fear you. You know what I'm saying? Like, your partner
Mm-hmm.
should never be the one that you fear. Like, you know, in a world full of people, your partner should not be the one that you fear. Like, that should be your
Yeah.
safe space. If your partner don't feel safe in any aspect, that's not your person. You know, we talk about being in alignment with people, but you got to realize, if y'all are hitting each other, if you're verbally abusing each other, y'all are not in alignment with each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have a disagreement all day long without putting your hands on someone or tearing them down. You know, even if y'all are having like miscommunication and not really understanding each other, learn each other's communication styles. But even then, if that don't work, then y'all are just not in alignment with each other. That's not your person. Just because you lay down, have sex, and have a kid with someone, it does not mean that that is your person. You just fucking,
No. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
And we all make mistakes, and that may have just been your mistake.
Yeah.
Not the mistake of having a child, but mistaken of having a child with that person.
Yeah. Yep.
But don't let that be the thing that makes you stay in an abusive relationship. Don't make that be the thing that sits you and makes you the punching bag, the human punching bag. No, no, you can walk. You can still walk away.
Right.
Um, there's friends out there that you never would think of that's going to be in your corner and make sure that your children are well taken care of, that you got a place to go. Um, don't turn your back on the people who can be there for you and turn towards your abuser.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So everybody needs that one person in your corner, and everybody sometimes needs to be in somebody's corner like that. Don't block your blessing by not being there for somebody.
Yeah. I think that's something else too though I wanted to say. I know people who've been in abusive relationships, and I've seen their quote unquote friends turn their back on them because they're like, oh, she just so fucking dumb. She keep taking him back. She
Mm-hmm.
keep doing this to herself. And it's like they're being manipulated, and low key, even though it's not love, they're in love with this person, and it's not as easy as people think. It takes a real support system to help people that are being abused, and you have
Mm-hmm.
to show up for them. That's why I say, even though everything that I say is not from a place of judgment, I just want to bring awareness to this topic. Um, because I don't care if it's a friend, a family member. I don't care if we got to go to court 10 million times to put peace orders on this motherfucker until you finally say, you know what, I'm fucking done, And I personally know someone, like actually it's like one of my clients. I actually went with my client because I'm like, no, I want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that nothing happens to you, and she went and got a peace order and everything, and she's in a new relationship. She talking about getting married and is happy as ever. And every time I see her, I tell her, I'm like, I am so proud of you because she literally got out, and it's so many women that don't. And
That
I feel
don't get
like
that
that
opportunity.
deserves to be celebrated, it is so easy to just stay and be comfortable with abuse, even though it don't sound good, but that's the easy way out. It's hard to go against when you love somebody, even though they're abusing
Mm-hmm.
you, and even having to get the law involved. That's hard to do when you genuinely love someone and you just like, this person just won't stop beating my ass or whatever it is that they're doing, it's hard to go to do that. It's harder to do that than to stay. So when people do get out, it's to be celebrated, but also it takes a real support system to say, I'm here for you either way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to I feel like if you're a real friend, you're gonna tell them the truth, but you're also not gonna say, you know what, I wipe my hands with you because you keep just being dumb. You keep taking this person back. You know what I'm
Yeah, you
saying?
can't do that
Yeah.
because the as soon as you turn your back on them, you might be their last hope. You might be
Yeah.
that last glimmer of hope for them. So don't turn your back on
Yeah.
them.
And if they have nobody else, that last time that they was trying to get out, they want to call someone but ain't got no one to turn to, and they stay, they lose their life, and now you got to sit there as a quote unquote friend and be like, dang, I really wasn't there for them, and we talk about friendships all the time. Like, people want to be friends when it's time to celebrate and do all these fun things and stuff, but like, life really whoop people ass, and and
Mm-hmm.
and for real. And it's like, that's what a friend is. A friend's gonna show up even during the bad times, and support you when you having your down moments. It's not just about when it's time to have fun and celebrate and stuff. It's also having your friends back, and helping your friend. And if you really love your friend, you want the best for them, why would you not? You can't control what they do, but why not still just be supportive of them when they need you,
Yeah.
So
if you have the opportunity to be there for a friend, that's when you truly show what friendship looks like. It's
Yeah.
not when you popping bottles at the club. That everybody can have fun when it's fun times, but when you show up for somebody when you have nothing, you benefit none from showing up. There is no benefit to you. You're just making sure that your friend is good. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Don't let that be the time when you turn your back or turn away from them. Um, what was the saying? A friend in need is a friend indeed. Like when somebody needs you, that's when they need you to show up. That's when they need you to show off. You know what I'm saying? What your friendship really, you know what I'm saying, looks like.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't turn your back, especially when it comes to somebody who has children. Growing up, I've seen a lot of women who it was their friend who opened their house up to them and gave them some place to go to get out of their bad situation. You know what I'm saying? Because they had kids and their parents didn't want to. You're not can't come back here with your kids. But that friend, you know what I'm saying, is like, you know what I'm saying, no, you can stay here whether you stay on the couch, on the floor, no matter what. My
Yeah.
house is always open to you. And that's what gave them the opportunity to get out of those bad situations because you never know when that person is going to snap and hurt either you and themselves, or you, your children and themselves. So get out while you can.
Yeah.
Definitely. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to walk away. For real.
Yeah. So my topic is, can someone truly be in love with two people at
Yeah, absolutely.
think so?
Absolutely. I think and I know you're not gonna be feeling what I say tonight.
Say what you
However,
say, Don.
it is possible, and I think what people don't realize is it's actually used to be very normal for somebody to be
Care.
in love with more than one person. Um, what wasn't normal but has become more normalized is women who have two like art who is in love with two different men.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's becoming more normalized, and women are taking advantage of the fact that no saying not taking advantage of a bad in a bad way, but they're like, look, no saying like there's enough love in me for me to give to both of these people. Um, I've been in relationship on both sides. I've been the side dude where the chick, no saying, was in love with me and in love with her husband. It was, I guess, it
But do
worked for
you
my
really feel
benefit.
like it's love though? Like love, like, or is it
I don't
lust?
think it's I don't think it starts as love. Lust is typically where that starts at. That second guy, you're trying to fulfill voids that you're not getting in your current relationship with the first person.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to find somebody to fill those voids. So you don't love them the same as you love the other person because you're loving them for the pieces that you're missing in your first relationship.
Yeah.
You're just loving the pieces of this other person, whereas your original person, your original mate, you love all of the things that they showed you in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but throughout the relationship, you start to see, okay, well, they're great in all of these places, but this and this and this they're missing. So you find somebody to fill those voids, and yeah, you can still love that. Um, but I think a lot of people in loving one person or loving two people, they misinterpret lust for love. That is the biggest problem with for me from what I've seen with relationships. That's the biggest problem, especially when the woman's like, "Oh no, saying I'm waiting, make him wait X amount of time before we have sex the first time." Really? Because all this time he's sitting there going, "Oh my God, girl, I love you. I want to be with you." That motherfucker's in lust, and as soon as he nut, he out. Like he's he's ready to skate. but he don't put time in now. He got to get what he came for.
Yeah.
And now you sitting there going, "Oh my God, he stayed around 4 months. We didn't even have sex. He must love me." No, he's lusting. He's trying to get off what the hell he started the journey for. So making the guy wait is not always the best fucking situation. It works sometimes, but it don't always work.
Uh, I mean, I guess it can be true,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's a difference between like loving someone and being in love with someone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's
I
lust.
agree.
You know, like I feel like
Yeah.
you
Go
know,
ahead.
so I feel like anybody that's ever truly been a part of my life, I love them to a certain extent. Like, you know, or I love them.
Mm-hmm.
And that means like I care about them, I want the best for them, like, you know. And then I feel like the person that I would be in love with is like I desire them on a deeper level than just loving them.
Okay.
And then I think like lust is just well, we already know what lust is. Lust, I just love having sex with you. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Basically.
you know, so I feel like when people be like, can you be in love with two people at once? I don't know if you can actually be in love with two people at once.
Yeah, I think sometimes you're in love with the either the image or the thought of that person. Like, okay, so you're not in love with the heart of that person all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're just in love with the image of who that is. Especially when that person is filling voids that you're missing. You're not in love with them on a spiritual level. Let's say like that. Like you're not in love with them on a our spirits is meeting, you know what I'm saying, and we in love with each other. I'm just in love with the image of what I'm missing.
Yeah.
Um, and a lot of times we start relationships off being in love with the image, not the person.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I think that, but like I feel like, all right, boom. Like if I was okay, we're saying hypothetically, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically, somebody that I was involved with in the past, right? I feel like like I said, anybody who ever truly been in my life, I love them, right? But I feel like when you're in love with someone, it's like I want to be with you. I want to build a future with you. Like I see myself with you. So it's like even if I love somebody from the past, I could have love for them, meaning I genuinely care. I hope that they're
Mm-hmm.
okay. I hope they do the best in life. Um, but I don't see myself with that person. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean that I don't love them and genuinely care about them as a person. But I feel like when I'm in love, it's like I want to be with you. Like you
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I be like, so I just feel like how can you truly be in love with how can you really imagine your future with two people?
It happens every day, honestly.
Shut the fuck up, Don.
I know
So
you don't
fucking
want to
nervous.
hear that, but it's the truth. Like poly couples, like they have a future and they are all in love with each other. Now that's not for everybody. It don't work for everybody. And honestly,
Okay, if we're
like
not talking
like
about poly, if we're not talking about
okay,
poly, say
take
it's
poly away.
two different people who don't know nothing. Like it's a one person, it's two people, and the two people know nothing about each other. But that one person claims that they're in love with both of them. How can you really see your future with both of them?
You can't.
I feel like
I agree with you there.
one love
You
has to
can't.
outweigh the other, and the one that outweighs the other is the one that you're deeply in love with.
Yeah, there was a, I don't know if it's a Bible verse, but I know that there's a saying behind that. You can't love two masters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because you'll love one and hate the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost a given. And I don't give whether it's a man or a woman. That's a given. You're always going to focus your attention or the majority of your attention on one person at a time, even
Mm-hmm.
if that's not what your intentions are.
Yeah.
Um, you can sit there and be like, "Oh, I love them both." No, I can't make a decision. Oh, you can make a decision once you realize who you're actually in love with, who you actually see the future with, like you
Mhm.
said,
Yeah.
that's the person you're in love with. The other person, you just love them or you have love for them, but that's not your forever person.
Yeah, and I feel like you said with the Bible verse, right? So say it's somebody that we're gonna hypothetically say they playing two people, right? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I was messing with one, there were certain needs that they weren't meeting, and then I met this second person and they was meeting the needs that the first person wasn't meeting. Okay, yeah, you got love for that first person, of course, right? But the second one, you're falling in love with them, right? But low key, you're going to resent the first person for everything that they don't do that the second person does.
Yep. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean,
Preach. Because I did. Because I saw that shit in real time.
you
Preach.
did.
Yes.
Okay,
Hell
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, and at that point, you're falling out of love with the first one. Yeah, you can love them. You can love them,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not in love with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you cross that line and you feel like you're falling for this other person, everything is a loss from before. Like you can't, like though that's one of those times you can't spin the block back because you've now been exposed to something that opens your eyes up more than what you previously had, and you
Okay.
will definitely fall out of love with the first person. And
Like,
I
like,
don't care how much you in your head about, oh, I can't leave one person for the other. You've already left them. You just
mm-hmm.
physically there with them.
Cause so let me use an example. Let me just make up
Mm-hmm.
a hypothetical example. We're gonna say a woman, right? She dealing with a
Mm-hmm.
guy, and say he don't pump no gas, he don't open no door, he don't buy no flowers, he don't do none of those, right? So you meet
Mm-hmm.
another guy, he opens every single door, he buys you flowers, just everything that the first guy doesn't, right? But you still dealing with both of them, right? So then when you go back to the first one and y'all walking in and he slammed the door in your face, at that point you like, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like you just like you a bitch ass motherfucker. Like you in your mind, you just like y'all fucking
Yeah.
hate you. Like, I feel, and I'm being like dramatic or whatever. I'm just playing, but it's just like deep down inside, you love them, but you like, no,
Mm-hmm.
no.
They don't do this. They don't do this. They don't do this. Every time I walk out the house with this other person, they are everything I need them to be. They make me
Mm.
walk on the inside. They open the doors for me. They make
Even
sure
if
they
you make
close my door.
Yeah, even if you make a suggestion, you never buy me flowers. What you need flowers for? They just gonna die.
Uh
Like,
huh. Yeah.
I just feel like at that point you really like, dang, like I really realize what I do not want for my future. Cause being
Yeah.
in love means you see them in your future, you know? So I feel like you can't truly be in love. This is my personal opinion. Be in love. You can love two people, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
being in love with two people. No. Cause it's a reason why you even had to go to that second person.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Taking Polly out of the equation, I totally agree with you.
yeah,
Totally
now if
agree.
it's poly, I can understand that. All right. We ain't talking about y'all fucking poly shit. No. We not talking about that poly shit. But
you cannot give your heart. You cannot give your heart to two people at the same time,
yeah.
which means you can't be in love with them because that's a piece of your heart that you're melding with someone. Like you can't be in two places at the same time, so you can't be in love with two people at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm,
Not she wasn't saying it like that
yeah, I'm
because we
just
ain't doing that
yeah, no, I'm
shit.
saying in general. I'm just saying in general for the whoever is
Because my
watching
wife
who's
crazy.
poly. We're not including y'all.
No, because we don't
But
do that. However, I think it's a beautiful thing, but we'll talk about that on another show. It's great for who it works for.
mm,
Shout out to Neo. Um, it works for him.
oh,
Um,
you so damn funny. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like me personally, I feel like number one, I don't know, and this is just how I operate, and maybe it's because I'm a woman, I don't know, but I just feel like even with dating, I don't like to date more than one person at a time. Um, I definitely like if I was ever in a relationship with someone, I only see that person. Um, and I feel like why are you laughing?
because I have questions. I have questions, but go ahead.
Okay,
I have
what's your
questions for
go
you.
ahead, question me. Question me. Damn.
So I get what you're saying because when I start dating someone, I get tunnel vision. So I only see that person in the tunnel. So I don't go on a lot of different dates because then I'm not focusing enough attention on that one person.
Yeah.
Do you think that sets you up to eliminate people who
To put all your
might be
eggs
your
in one basket.
person? Yeah, yeah.
I don't. I just think you gotta really be. I think you have to really be intentional though about dating, and I ain't gonna lie. Like I have not been dating. Like but the way that I look at it now, um, no, I don't. But I think people have to go into dating being very strategic, not like what you can get. I think it has to be like, who are you? What do you want? You know what I'm saying? Get straight to the point. No sex involved. Like I think you really need to like be figuring out the pros and the cons and like, oh, I absolutely will not tolerate this. Goodbye. No
Like I
sex.
know that you're from what you're saying and from what you've said to me in the past on the show, you if you're dating someone, like you said, you're intentional. Like okay, it's me and you. We ain't gonna be dating a whole lot of damn people. How,
No, I'm
how
a
long do you allow that initial building part so that you can say, okay, it's me and you. We're not gonna be dating around.
until like I know some people say like I need to see a person now, but I think you gotta see a person in every season, every phase. I feel like you have to see them
Mm,
when they're sad, when they're mad, when they don't get their way. I think you need to see all that, you know. Um,
I like that.
but I feel like if you take sex out the equation and you really like, okay, I really want to like get to know this person. Like the way I look at it now, like I don't think I was looking at that. But I think the way now, yeah, no. I don't know. I just know it was a huge shift in my mentality, and I'm just like, yo, when I do eventually start dating again, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like no games involved. Like I'm sorry, it just gets straight to the point. Um, and the thing is, it's not gonna be no sex involved. So it's like if I'm gonna find out that way because if you just there for sex, you gonna get tired of that shit. So get the fuck on if that's all you looking for. Um,
Sometimes they will, but sometimes they'll tough it out because now they got time invested. So
it
they're
ain't
gonna tough it out and they're gonna say all of the shit that you want to hear.
No, they ain't gonna tell me what I want to hear because I ain't gonna see. This is why I need to put out a dating book.
Let's do it. I did do it. Do it.
I got strategy. All right, we gotta do some reverse psychology on these fucking men. Okay, I got real fucking strategy. I ain't playing. My clients know. My clients know. I'll be like, you gotta do this, that, and the third first, whatever. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, and I'll say it on here, and I don't give a fuck if a dude watch it or not. But I personally feel like women, and especially a woman who's really intentionally dating, I feel like women need to ask men the hard questions first. I feel like a woman should never be in position to let a man ask her what is she looking for first. Because I feel like men, especially manipulative men who are only trying to get sex out of a woman, they're like you said, they're going to marry her. They're going to say everything. So if I be like, oh yeah, I want to get married and I want a child and I want a white picket fence and I want this, all of a sudden he wants all the same fucking shit. And he only wants that shit because he wants to fuck. So I feel like as a woman,
True.
Be real. I feel like as a woman, I feel like women have to ask men these hard questions first. I feel like women need to ask men, what are you looking for? Like before a man ever asks you that. Or even, and I don't even want to say just what are you looking for, but ask men like the questions in that order. Like, so do you, and I feel like when women ask men this, they gotta ask it in a sense of like they don't care. Like, so like I think women need to ask men like, do you even want to get married? Like, do you want to get married? And I feel like a man's going to give you a more authentic answer. He can be like, I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Bye, bitch. Because I want a man who knows for a fact that he wants to be fucking married. Get the fuck out of my face. You get what I'm saying?
That's chapter 1 of the book right there, y'all. Chapter 1.
Ladies, we are not fucking playing. I feel like all of that, like if a man already has children, but a woman know that she want more children, you need to ask him like, I don't, and I don't want to say no, don't lie, because I don't think no one should play games with nobody, right? But as a woman, like, I don't even know if I want kids, or I don't even know if I want. Do you want kids?
Yo, let me tell you.
Do you want any more kids? Do you want more kids? Nah, I mean, for real, I'm good with the kids I got. No, nigga, because I want a child. Bye. Like, you get what I'm saying? But if you sit there and just tell him, if you put yourself in a position where a man asks you all those questions first, he's literally just going to sell you a fucking dream.
He's going to basically put up a mirror and he's going to go, this is exactly what you want. And you're looking at yourself.
We're fucking soulmates. Like, he wants everything that I want.
Yes. Oh my God.
Exactly.
I was going to name my child the same thing, girl.
Exactly. And then I took a class before. It was actually right before I became an entrepreneur. It was a resume class and I took a interview class. And the interview class tells you, right? I guess this is part of psychology. The interview class tells you what's the easiest way to relate to someone is when you have things in common. Mm-hmm. So like in the interview class, they was basically saying that when you go on an interview, say if you physically go into an interview, you look in the room for things like if you see someone does 5Ks and you be running 5Ks, instantly mention the 5K. Like, hey, like you do 5Ks. I just ran a 5K last week. I did it for this, that, and the third organization, this, that, and the third. And instantly it makes you feel more connected with them, So ladies, this is what men do. The whole fucking reverse psychology is they mirror and do everything so they let that guard down and makes you feel safe and more familiar, and then you quick to fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be like, yeah, I'm gonna give him some coochie. Why not? We want the same.
We like all the same shit.
We about to get married next week. Why not? So
yo, let me tell you, my wife, love her to pieces. She would ask me things, and she did this for about 2 weeks straight. And I was like, okay, so is this what we're gonna do? she would ask me if I like something. I'm like, yeah, yeah, like that's real good. She'd be like, I don't even like that. And I'm like, are we gonna keep doing this? And it was like 2 weeks worth of, do you like this? And I'm like, yeah, like that's delicious. She's like, I don't even like that shit. I'm like, why are we doing this? But what I did realize was because she initiated the question, she can also control the answers. Like she can say, okay, so you're not just gonna tell me everything that I want to fucking hear, because I'm asking you questions about shit that I don't even like. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie to you and say I like it. I don't like this shit. I'm gonna tell you I don't like it.
Yeah.
But she's not manipulating things, but she's also not allowing me to manipulate things. Like it's
right.
like we always ask people, which is why it caught me off guard. We always ask people about things that we like. Oh, you like long walks? Yeah, I like long walks. Well, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Ask people about the things you don't like.
Right.
That was a very, I don't know, subterfuge kind of way of her handling things, but it gave us a way to have honest conversation, and I've never had a woman do that. So maybe I might have been Jedi mind tricked into marriage. I don't know. Maybe she got me. Nah.
Not even that. It's just her really figuring out who you really are in that moment. You know what I'm saying? All game side, and I feel like when you meet people and you go on dates, everybody want to put on a facade and like, oh, I like what you like, and oh, I do everything you do, and it's like, boom, we're the perfect fit. Like, no, like, tell me who you really are, so we could figure out, like, are we really meant for each other? Like, I just feel like, and especially when it comes to sex, it's some people that ain't looking for nothing serious. So it's like if it's sex that you want, go fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
we need to figure out, are we really compatible? Are we really in alignment to be together? So don't fucking sell me a dream, just because you want to manipulate the situation to just fake make it work, and I feel like not, and I'm not gonna say that like women can't lie about what they want and stuff like that too. I just think for the most part it'd be men, like, marrying.
Oh, women created that game though. That women created that one.
Okay.
We adapted. Women created that.
Created
Women
mirroring.
figured out a long time ago. Yeah,
I mean,
that mirror shit.
I'm not gonna say women don't do it too, but I think, okay, so this is another question. Do you think that even if someone stands firm and like, oh, I don't want marriage or I don't want children, do you think if it was the right person, it could change their mind?
Ooh, no, not really, honestly. And I'll tell you why I say that. Sure, you will say that my mind has changed. Sure, you'll be like, shit, we can go ahead and do this. But if that's not where you was at the beginning, now you're just conforming for the situation. Like you're going along to get along. Eventually, that shit gets frustrating, and you're gonna be out. You
Yeah.
need to whatever you say at the beginning, you got to stand the hell firm on. Um, if you don't want children, I don't want children. Now, when me and my wife first got together, she didn't have any children. She doesn't have any children. Well, she does now because she inherited my 4 plus a grandkid. But she didn't have any children of her own. And I told her, she was like, "Do you want to have children?" I had zero intentions of having any more children. However, I would do it with you. And that was as honest of an answer I could possibly give. It wasn't, oh, you convinced me to have a kid. No, I know you don't have any children of your own. So I would take that journey with you.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know what? You talked me into it. There is no talking somebody into that shit. There's no talking somebody into marriage. There's no talking nobody into kids. Whatever their answer is, stand firm on their answer.
Yeah. I think like I feel like 143 Trip said, because I don't remember what's the girl, I don't know if her name is Jenny or whatever her name is, the one that was with Jeezy. She never initially wanted children. That's why she got divorced from her first husband, got with Jeezy, and then ended up having a child. Um, and I mean, yeah, again, with any situation, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We don't know, and especially because they're no longer married together. And it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a rough divorce. We don't know if it's any resentment when it comes to her with her child. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact that she never initially wants to have kids, she ended up having a kid, and then now she's a single mother. Like, um, so it's like, yeah, I mean, from the outside looking in, it don't seem like she resents having her daughter. Her daughter seems like a blessing, something that she low key didn't know she needed. But at the same time, me personally, I think like if I am for sure of the things that I want in life, like if I say like I definitely want to be married or I definitely want to have a kid, and someone is kind of like on the fence about it, I don't think that's a risk that I could take with someone. You know what I'm saying? And I would want to know that truth, because if someone was just like, and again, if someone was to ask me those questions first, like, do you want to get married? Do you want kids? Yeah, I want to get married. Yeah, I want a kid. And they're like, and I'm like, do you want to get married? Do you want kids? And they're like, yeah, I want to get married. I want a kid. But in their mind, they really not sure if they want kids, And then when
Mm-hmm.
the time comes about, like, okay, are we gonna start trying for a child? And they're like, I don't even know if I want kids, like, because you weren't being honest about the fact that you was on the fence about it. It wasn't a for sure, yes, I want kids, but you told me that you was really like unsure if you really wanted them or not, and now we married, but you ain't trying to give me no kid.
Yeah.
Or again, if someone was to actually have the kid, the other person might resent the child, might resent you, because low key in the back of their mind, that's not what they really wanted, you know.
Yeah. And
One more,
it's
sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just reading the thing.
Go ahead, read it.
143 Trip said, I know a couple who said they wanted kids, and when they got married, the woman who was gonna carry lesbian relationship changed her mind. Yeah, so like
Mm.
she said she didn't want to ruin her body, and it's like we got married and we you know what I'm saying, we found out we were compatible and we were aligned, and a part of what we want for our future is we both agreed that we wanted kids, and now that the time came, you done wasted how many years of my life now, and what now, do I need to get divorced to go find who really is my person to have children with,
Yeah.
you
That
know
part. And if when somebody's honest with you, accept their honesty. Like,
mm-hmm.
you can't change their mind. You can't make them see the light. There is no light for them. If
Yeah.
they say, I don't want to ever be married, or watch for this word, to you. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be married to you. That don't mean they don't ever want to get married. They just don't want to marry you.
Yeah.
Take them at their word. You're never going to change their mind. You're going to wait around for 10, 12, 15 damn years trying to marry this person, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Um, I had a chick that I told her, fuck marriage. I don't want to be in a relationship with you. We're just having fun right now. And that's what we are going to have until I'm no longer having fun with you.
Yeah.
But in her mind, she was like, no, we gonna end up in a relationship. And I'm like, not in this lifetime. It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. I'm enjoying the fun side of you. That's it.
Yeah.
Uh, so don't think that you can talk somebody or trick somebody
Mm-hmm.
into doing something, because they're just gonna resent you, like the woman who pop her pregnant, or the man who intentionally gets the woman pregnant, because there's guys out there that do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're just gonna resent you. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna resent what you did to them.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think too, people need to stop robbing people of their choices, of their lives.
thank you. Yep,
Like that
thank
is
you.
it, and I'm a firm believer in karma. I truly don't believe in trying to trick someone, waste people's time. Life is too short. I don't you it is not for you to play God, for you to sit there and rob people of their time and their lives because of your own selfishness. Like that's not
Mm-hmm.
fair. You know, if you don't want someone, let them live their life and find who they're supposed to be with. You know, if you don't want what they want, okay, then that just means that y'all aren't each other's person, you know, but it's not for you to say, well, I'm gonna hold on to this person even though I don't want the same things for my own selfish gain. Like that's not right, you know. And to be honest, if the roles was to reverse, you'd be highly upset, you know. Um, and especially if like you got to the point of marrying someone and then like you go to all those extents just to find out like, yeah, I don't want no kid. Yeah, I never plan to buy a house. Like, you know, like or whatever it is that y'all both said
Yeah,
was y'all wanted for y'all future. You know, that's not fair.
I had this young lady I dealt with. Like I said, she was married. I was a side dude. I'll admit the shit, and I enjoyed it. Damn it, I enjoyed it. But
Done.
she she fell in love with that part of me that was opposite her husband.
Hmm.
But he was the provider. He was a financial guy.
Okay.
So she loved the financial aspect, the financial protections that he came with, but she loved all the loving parts that I came with.
The attention.
Yeah, the attention, the opening the doors, the come by, let me cook for you, and she fell in love with that part. But I could never make up for his financial side. Like I didn't make the money he made. You know what I'm saying? I made enough money to support me, but he made money like he didn't want her to work. And I was like, well, shit, you come over this way, we both got a job. Y'all got one, you got one. So
Mm-hmm.
if you just want to sit and chill all day, you probably want to stay with him. And I'll stay the side dude. Because if you come this way, I walk out the house and go to work. You walking out the house and going to work too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we both going to work. But yeah, so and then when I got fed up with the second fiddle part. And I was like, you know what? Like, we cool. We always gonna be cool, but I think you need to focus on your marriage. Cause I find myself falling harder and harder, and I know this shit ain't going nowhere for real. You're
Yeah.
always gonna be with him.
Yeah.
Damn, I sound like a little fucking bitch. But
Okay.
but when I did that and I found somebody else and she popped up at my house, it was like she was crushed that she didn't have that access to me anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that, and for a woman, like it's her heart gets broken a little bit. No saying she's hurt, but for guys who do this same thing to women, no saying like you put a woman in a situation where, or a woman puts a man in a situation where his heart is broken, or men don't know how to react to shit like that. We
Mm-hmm.
snap react. Um, so yeah, the side chick, side dude shit, that shit can get real dangerous. So don't do it. But it's fun while you're in it.
Uh,
Some fun shit while you're in it. But yeah, like you said, you can love two people, but you cannot be in love with two people.
yeah.
There's no way you can dedicate enough time to two people unless
Yeah.
you're all enjoying time together, but you can't go in two different directions and have enough time for both people. So somebody's gonna get the short end of the stick, and that's the one that you're not in love with.
Yeah. For sure. And,
Yeah.
and and like I said, I feel like you can still love the other person. Like it's plenty of people
Mhm.
that I was with in the past and I genuinely love them. Like I I literally hope they do well in life. I hope nothing bad ever happens to them. I hope they reach their fullest potential. But am I in love with them? No. No, I'm not. I'm not in
Nah,
love with you. You know.
you got love for them, but not in love.
Yeah, because I feel like when you genuinely love someone, I feel like love just don't go away. I feel like, what you love about a person, that don't go away. But being in love with them where you're like, oh, I want to be with you, I see a future with you, like everything that comes with being in love with someone, like you can like still love someone and not want those things.
Hmm.
Um and it's okay because I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, any person that you was ever with in your past, you need to hate them. Cause that's the opposite of
No.
love. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna sit
Yeah.
here and be and if you really, and I'm not saying you can't hate no one, but hate is such a strong word and it takes so much energy out of yourself, um, that I mean, look, I'm not gonna say so. It's like so if you don't love them, right? Even though you're not with them, do you hate them?
Right.
Because I'm not about to keep a whole bunch of I can dislike so you can dislike them. We're gonna say dislike. You can dislike someone and not love them. But I feel like if you were with someone for a certain amount of time, it was something about them that you did love them for, because you would have never got with them in the first place. But it's
Hmm.
okay to not be in love with them. It's okay to dislike them, and dislike might come with resentment. But again, I feel like that's why I like, when you heal, and not to say you haven't, right? Like you learn to forgive yourself for tolerating, because ultimately that person was who they are and that's who they chose to be. And sometimes we accept what we should have never accepted. So that's why, part of the healing process is forgiving them, forgive yourself for tolerating that and being okay with the situation and move on and say, I took it as a not just a loss, but a lesson, and knowing what I do want. So I don't know. I don't want to resent people. I feel like I did that after moving on from people. I feel like I resented them, and I realized like when you resent people, you really, you don't really you're not fully healed from that situation. I don't want to resent people.
Hmm.
Um,
Because you're still putting energy into that person, even if it's not
exactly.
love. You're still putting energy, and if you're still putting energy into it, you're not over the situation.
Yeah.
You need to heal.
But I mean, I could say anybody remember, I truly do got love for them. I truly wish them the best. I really hope that they heal from, because like even if somebody hurts you, and I think that's the thing about empathy, is like even when someone hurts you, not to make no excuse, so we just talked about abusive relationships and shit, right? But healthy people and healed people don't go around purposely hurting people. So that person
Hmm.
sick. So it's like, yeah, I was in love with you at a point in time. But I truly don't wish you no ill will. I have love for you and I truly hope that you become the best version of yourself. I hope you heal from the things that made you to who you are, so that you don't go around keep hurting people that genuinely love you and you can receive it back, you know?
Like I think I spend more time nothing in people. Like I nothing them anymore. I'm saying
Yeah,
don't like them, don't dislike them. I don't feel like they exist. I just nothing their ass.
yeah,
As opposed to putting a lot of energy into hating someone
hmm,
or sitting there praying for their downfall or hoping for the worst for them. Like, nah. If we was ever cool, I hope for the best, but I just hope for the best for you over there. Like
yeah,
stay over on that side, and the space between you and I is that nothing space, and I nothing you in that space.
yeah. I
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I get that, and it's okay to not feel nothing, but I'm still gonna pray for my enemies, even people who might be envious of me, dislike me for whatever reason. I'm praying for y'all because, like, what is it about me that made you either be envious, hate me, try to hurt me, or whatever the case may be? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like something happened to you, because that's not a normal behavior for like someone to hurt the person that they love, or they claim that they love, but ultimately someone that actually showing you love, like if someone is showing you love, how is that a healthy person if they're purposely hurting someone that genuinely loves them? That's not.
Mm-hmm.
So that person, and it's not to make no excuse, that person been through something deep and dark that shaped them to be who they are. So I genuinely, I fell in love with you at a point in time, and I genuinely love you and care about you. I don't wish you to pass away tomorrow. It would hurt my feelings if it did. Even the people who wronged me, like even the people who
Mm-hmm.
wronged me in my life, I still wouldn't want nothing bad to happen to them. And I genuinely want them to heal because I don't want you to go around and sabotage and hurt people that genuinely love you. I want you to get
Mm-hmm.
the help that you need. I want you to heal. And I want you to come from a place of love and know how to receive it when it comes to you. So I don't know. But I think that's like a hard part of healing. I'm not gonna lie, because some people, and I'm talking to myself when I say this, you think that just because time went by and you stopped dealing with someone that, oh, I'm healed, and that does not mean that if you still resent someone, you are not healed. And I'm talking to myself because that was me. I spent it, and it was a long time ago when I separated from a bad relationship. It was like I was doing the healing process, but I really resented that person. I really fucking hated them. I'm like, you did all of this, like, and it brought me so much anger. And I feel like until you can sit there and those feelings don't come up, and you can come from a place of understanding and accepting, like, okay, this is not my person. I ultimately, you might be upset that this person wasted a little time, but the way I personally feel, like God does everything for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
um he wanted you to be in there because be in that bad relationship to learn what it is that you don't accept, and
Yeah.
I feel like everything goes in alignment of how you're supposed to get to where you're supposed to be, whether it's what you're supposed to do or the person you're supposed to be with, um so yeah, I don't know.
I think
But
when you're
I don't want
in,
to come from a place of like, I don't want to hate no one that I ever claim that I love. I don't want to hate them, and I don't want to resent them.
like, I know a lot of people who will sit there and be like, no, saying, oh, I'm over such and such. But if you're in there, if you find yourself in their presence and it elicits an emotional response, whether it be good or bad, know what I'm saying? If it brings up old memories of how much y'all loved each other, you're not over it.
Yeah.
If you get in their presence and you just, know what I'm saying, all you feel is that anger towards them, you're not over them.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in their presence and it elicits no emotional response from you, now you're over them. Know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then
And
you
I
can move
don't.
on more.
Yeah, and I don't even want to just say like over them, but I want to say healed from them. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because when somebody hurt you, it's like they cut you. That's a wound. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and just like if you think a wound is closed, you go put some fucking hand sanitizer on your hand, that motherfucker burn. That
Mm-hmm.
resentment, that wound is not it's not closed yet. And
Right.
I feel like until you cannot resent someone, you're not healed from the situation. It's okay to be like, I don't like that person. I'm not in love with that person. I don't see a future with that person. Like, it's okay to feel those, but until you can say, like, I don't resent this person, um I can fully understand, and it's not to make an excuse, but I understand why everything happened the way it did, why they are the way that they are, why they treated me that way, and really just pray for them and really want the best for them, and I think
Yeah.
that's all you can do. But I'm only saying that because I feel like I know from personal experience from healing, because I think that was the last step of the healing. Because I never even realized, I never knew what resentment was until that shit came up, when I thought I healed from a person. Until I was like, fuck this motherfucker. Like, I'm just like, y'all was angry. I was angry. Like, and you would have thought like all the things that went on in that relationship, that I would have been like, not to say I wasn't angry in those moments, but I'm talking about even after dealing with that person, just the thought of that person. Like you said, you see that person, I'm like, fuck that bitch. Like, just
Mm-hmm.
so much resentment, you know? And I never, and I'm like, no, like, Bridget, why do you feel this way? Like, why do you feel like so strongly about this? And it just show you that it's like I wasn't really healed, fully healed, you know, to where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
even all the bad things that this person did to me. And that's where it's like, you know, forgiveness come in. It's like all the bad things this person did to me, I'm not even mad at you. Like,
Right.
I still don't want nothing bad to happen to you, regardless of how bad you hurt me. Like, that's where real fucking healing comes from. That's where I think, you know, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, and until you get to that point, you, like you said, you're not healed. Like, just because you put your pants over a cut, that cut's still there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, and that's
yeah,
what happens a lot of time when people jump from one relationship to another. That's what they do. They're just putting on clothing over those wounds,
yeah.
thinking it's gonna make it heal. No, you just covering it up.
Yeah,
It's
and
still an
it's
exposed wound.
and it's worse because then you bleed on to people that didn't do shit, because you never healed that trauma from that relationship, you know. And it comes out because little things that that person might do might trigger you, but it's because you didn't fully heal, not resent, and just fully accept the situation for what it is, you know. Until, and then met someone else and just accept them for their own individual self, you know, and you're not projecting from what the last person did because you didn't fully heal that wound, you know. But I promise you, with that resentment shit, I had to learn that shit myself. I promise you, because I didn't even know what resentment was. And I knew the way I was feeling, I'm like, damn, like I never knew I could like dislike somebody so fucking much, you know. But now it's like, I don't know. I think it's like and I think maybe it's just that empathy. Like, you know, when you're an empath, it's like you really come from a place of not just really understanding. Like, you know, you'll learn that, like, you know, with a lot of shit, stop taking it personal. Like, yeah, they hurt you, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I don't want to say it's not because they purposely chose to, because yeah, people are adults, they make decisions, but they also make
Hell
decisions
yeah.
off of their trauma and how they were molded to be who they are, you know. And a lot of times when hurt people hurt people,
Hurt people.
exactly,
Yep.
you know, it's because somebody hurt them, and somebody didn't love them correctly, and somebody did them wrong and did them dirty. And no, it don't mean that it's okay for them to do you that way. But that's why you got to be your self-worth has to, you have to know yourself and your self-worth to know that you should have never accepted that, you know. And that's
Mm-hmm.
your own wounds that you got to fix within yourself, because it's like, why he just showed me who he was, why did I accept that?
Who was I talking to about that? Was I having a conversation with my wife about that? Because she was like, "How do I just accept people for like? Why don't I let people bother me? Like, why don't I let people's behavior towards me bother me?" And I said, "Because I accept people for who they are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't expect more out of you than you give me,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm cool because I expected exactly what I got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you put people on a pedestal and you expect them to treat you like their God because you made them your God, you setting yourself up to be hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like you get out of people exactly what you expect to. And
Yeah.
if you get more than what you expected, that's a fucking bonus. But
Yeah.
if you put somebody on a pedestal and they treat you like shit, you like, how could you treat me like this? They never showed you that they was gonna treat you any differently.
Yeah.
You expected that. You put them in that place.
But even with the expectations, if somebody treats you the way that you don't like, if you don't like the way someone's treating you, why are you keeping them in your life? And
Mm-hmm.
that goes for anybody. The moment that you see someone's character and the things they do and how they treat people, that like we talking about in like past relationships, that genuinely like if you can say as a person, all I ever did was try to genuinely love you, and in return you treated me like shit. At what point do I have to be real and say, why am I still here? Why do I feel like I deserve this? You know, and that's why I say with healing it, you got to take accountability within yourself too, because a lot of us, we take on the stuff that happens to us. Like, yeah, we can be mad that someone treat us like shit all day long, but you stayed there letting a motherfucker treat you like shit for how long?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm talking to my fucking self. You know, you can
And you're
only be
talking
mad
to a
at
lot
what
of men
you.
and a lot of women out there. You preaching, you telling them exactly what the fuck it is.
Yeah, you only can be mad at what you allow. That's all you could be mad at. They been showed you who they was. You took it back again, and they did it again, and you kept on saying, "I want this fucking shit." You want someone that treats you like shit. That's what you love.
Mm-hmm.
You love people treating you like shit. You know what I'm saying? So people got to take accountability and say, like, no, this person. This is how they are. This is how they feel. This is how they're gonna treat me in return. Do I deserve this? Yes or no? So at what
Mm-hmm.
point are you mad at yourself for what you tolerate? You know, but that don't mean you gotta have that resentment and fuck that bitch. I hope that bitch died. No, no, because that
Oh yeah,
person is
we got to have a whole segment about this because I think we jumped into this from another segment. This right here is important though. I like
yeah,
this one.
yeah.
Um, because we and I'm gonna give y'all a snippet, but I'm gonna save it for that segment because I think that sometimes we play with snakes and then we mad when we get bitten.
Mm-hmm.
It was a snake. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that, y'all. Um, I like that one. Shit, I need to put that shit down. That you was preaching.
You get my nerves on.
You was preaching. God damn. Um, but yeah, y'all heard it. Please listen. Fuck sharing this show. Share it. Great. Love you for share it. Like, subscribe. Circle back and listen to this shit for yourself. Everybody, not just men, not just with every fucking body. We're making dumbass mistakes and we're hurting ourselves with shit that we can avoid. So
Mm.
circle back and watch this whole damn show. I know it's an hour and 47 minutes, but that's fine. Circle back, watch this shit yourself. I don't care if you never share it. I do care. I'm lying.
Yeah, we do
But
care.
share it and then watch the shit yourself again. Because this is a lot of important things. Like we can't keep hurting ourselves and expecting better outcomes. You're doing the same shit over. Like you're on this fucking treadmill, this circular treadmill, and constantly hurting yourself, and you're expecting to heal somehow from that shit.
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk to y'all more about that shit. Anyway, like, subscribe, share. I was playing before. Share the shit with some people, but circle
Yeah.
back and watch it again yourself. Don't miss out on the jewels and gems that was on this show. Because God, dag, Bridget was hitting y'all off with some shit. Like, come on now. As a matter of fact, Cash App her some damn money. She deserved it. She was preaching to y'all, motherfucker. The collection plates out there. Put some money in that.
Yeah. You so funny.
But next Wednesday we gonna talk more. We gonna speak more. We got. If you have a topic
Mm.
that you want to talk about, you want us to talk about, don't be scared. Hit us up on IG. Love Sex Society on IG. You can hit us up individually if you want to remain anonymous. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about on the air. So don't be scared to drop something. Every now and then I have something good to say, and Bridget's always hitting y'all over y'all damn head. So if you want to have some conversations about some shit that you're going through, feel free to drop it on us. Next Wednesday, next Wednesday, we'll definitely see y'all next Wednesday. But we going to bed, y'all. Be easy, folks. It's love. Later, people.
This is Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. Please like, subscribe, and share.